I turned it on. You're gonna tell him it's on because it's 2 minutes.
Are we ready to start? Or still hold? Okay. I'll wait for you. Okay.
Can we?
This is definitely a
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jupong Lin, Guakyo Jupong. I've been trying to say my name in Taiwanese at every opportunity. I am the director of the MFA in Interdisciplinary Arts at Goddard College. We are a program that has 2 sites. Our one site in Plainfield, Vermont, which is where our main campus is, and this is our second site. And I'll just briefly tell you a little bit about the program. It is an exceptional program, exceptionally interdisciplinary. We have artists of all colors and stripes. We've graduated urban dramaturgs, herbal goddesses, opera singers who are doing social change work, the whole gamut. And it's such an honor, such a privilege to work with these incredible artists, scholars, activists, poets. We are celebrating our 20th year this year. The program was founded in 2007 in Vermont. So this is the first time we have partnered with the Mandala Center for Change, and we really are so delighted and expect that this partnership will unfold in the semesters and years to come. So I'd like to pick up Mark Weinblatt.
Thank you, Jupong. I'm using a mic because I'm just getting over a cold. And how many of you have been sick in the last few weeks, just by show of hands? No, that's most of you are not from Port Townsend. I don't know what's been going on here, but it's been pretty rough. But I'm coming back, and my normally booming voice is getting a little enhancement today. A deep thanks to Jupong and Laiwan and all of the Goddard folks. I know as an organizer there's an incredible amount of moving parts to make just this event happen, let alone all of the jigsaw puzzle of things that they've been doing this week, and folks coming from all over the country. So really it's an incredible thing. Thank you for trusting us. Hope you still want to do partnership with us. We're very excited to be here. We have a play. The Mandala Center for Change does a lot of programming. It's all theater and arts-based activism. We've been around since 1999. I've been doing theater of the oppressed and playback theater since the early 90s. We have, just to mention a couple of things, there's a mailing list out there in which we encourage you, if you want to get periodic updates on the different array of things that we're doing, trainings, and such, feel free to sign on that. Today we have an event featuring the Poetic Justice Theatre Ensemble, which is our local community service wing. Almost all the work we do is here locally in Port Townsend and Jefferson County. We occasionally leave the area, but it's mostly here, and it's pretty much always free or pay what you can, and it's always social issue-based community dialogue. Much of the time we're brought in to work with groups. We just did a performance on shaming for a local high school group a couple of weeks ago. And this is part 2 of an event specifically galvanizing the theater community across the country, the Ghostlight Project. So on January 19th, the day before the inauguration. Nearly 800 theaters across the country held a simultaneous event in their own time zone. And we did our own event using playback theater to generate stories from the audience. And based on and inspired by some of those stories, as well as our own real lived experience, we've created a short play, which you'll see in just a moment. How many of you were at that Be a Light event on January 19th? So a few of you. So you may recognize some themes weaving in from that. It's a short play. It's about 7.5 minutes long. It's highly stylized. It's over time. It takes place in the present and moves into the potential not too distant future. You're going to get to see this play, and then we're going to run the play a second time. We're going to do something called forum theater, which is one of the techniques of the theater of the oppressed, which I'm not going to go into much detail about that now. But it's a problem-solving technique, and we're going to run the play over and over and over again and invite you, the audience, if you see a character struggling with a problem and you have ideas of what that character could do to change things for the better, you yell stop, come on stage, take over the role of that character, and improvise your solutions. And the other characters will adapt like a virus. Very effectively, probably. I welcome it. I will go over the rules of the game when we get to that point. Right now, just a couple of logistical things. We're going to go till about 10 to 6 today, without a break. If you need to use a restroom during that time, please feel free to do so. We ask that you just be careful of the video camera. It is being videotaped. What do I want to say about that? Generally speaking, for a public event, you're just by it being a public event, you're giving your permission for us to use the video for our internal purposes. It is not going to be made fun of. I mean, it's being used as an educational tool, basically. So the restrooms are right out here, and are there, I think that's all I need to say. Are there any questions? Okay, well, in that case, with no further ado, the title of our play is Land of the Free.
Send them to me. You're tired. Send me your tired. You're poor. Your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse from your teeming shore. Send them. The homeless, the tempest-tossed to me. I'll lift my lamp above the golden door.
Be a lamp or a lifeboat or a ladder and help someone's soul heal. Walk out of your house like a shepherd. Be a lamp or a lifeboat or a ladder. Be a lamp or a lifeboat or a ladder and help someone's soul heal.
Here we are! Thank you so much for coming out to the anti-hate vigil at Holly Fountain. I know the weather's a little crap, but we're here. We're small numbers, but we're strong together. We're going to open up the floor, just hear from anyone who wants to speak.
Snowflakes, my pitiful people. You tell me, how's the Sanctuary City program working out?
Step by step,
Yes,
we're making some progress.
there is no sanctuary. Those people aren't welcome here.
Those people.
Those people are not welcome here. They take our jobs.
I mean, that's Trump
They're
rhetoric.
criminals.
No, that's
They could be
fake.
terrorists. I'm worried about my security, my kids' security. I'm worried about my community. I'm worried about my culture. We conservatives, we know how to stand up for liberty. And we've got a president that's got our back.
You got my back.
And we let those people in. I'm going to take care of things myself.
Department of Homeland Security, separating children from parents at border.
White House repeal and replace Obamacare.
President tweets that global warming is an expensive hoax.
Conservative Neil Gorsuch is choice to be Supreme Court Justice.
Dakota Access Pipeline goes through. Native sovereignty threatened.
Religious liberty bill allows businesses to discriminate against LGBT customers.
Companies ready to build U.S.-Mexico border wall.
Bomb threats all over Jewish centers across the U.S.
Travel ban on 6 Muslim countries.
Abortion rights prejudice.
That's Planned Parenthood.
Federal funding cuts to sanctuary cities.
Steve Bannon named advisor to the president.
Betsy DeVos named Secretary of Education.
Jeff Sessions named Attorney General.
Rex Tillerson named Secretary of
Steve
State.
Mnuchin.
Ben Carson.
Perry.
Scott Pruitt.
Tom Price. White House, Fox, CNN, and other news outlets from press briefing. It's too much. There's nothing you can do.
Be careful, it's too dangerous.
You don't know enough. You don't have the tools to fix this.
This doesn't affect you. You'll be fine.
You don't
It's
know
too
enough.
much.
There's
It's
nothing you can
dangerous.
do.
Be careful. Be fine.
Be careful.
Doesn't
It's too
affect
dangerous. There's nothing you can
You'll
do.
be fine.
Hey! You! Get! You don't have a green card. Hey! You're not welcome here.
You have an Iranian passport. You are not welcome here.
Hey! You! We don't serve gays here. You're not welcome!
Hey, you. Don't you know that abortions are illegal in this country? You're not welcome here.
Hello? Hello? Is there anybody out there? Hello?
Seems kind of weird to applaud for that play. Noah, could you give us the house lights, please? Okay. Just out of curiosity, how many of you relate to any of the characters, even if it's just one, relate to any of the character struggles that you see on that stage? Okay. So hopefully we've created something that feels real. So in a moment, we're going to run the play a second time. And that's when you're invited to explore possible solutions. But before we do that, just because, now the Port Townsend audience is usually pretty cooked, but It's traditional to warm up the audience because in a normal theater you are spectators, but in our theater you are spect-actors, invited to actually get out of your cushy velvet seats, well maybe not that cushy or velvet, but and to come on stage and take action. An actor, an activist, they're not necessarily that different. So I invite all of you, if you could, just to stand up right where you are. And Theater of the Oppressed comes out of Augusto Boal's work in Brazil and Latin America and subsequently all over the world for activism and even government legislation as a community development tool originally developed for oppressed peoples to explore solutions to their own problems. So ultimately we're going to invite you all to explore your own struggles and play yourselves to it as much as possible. But for now, if you could all just, with your right hand, make a cross in the air or a plus sign, depending on how you feel about such matters. Okay, good, thank you. And now with your left hand, a circle in the air. And now, the challenge is to simultaneously make the cross or plus sign with your right hand and the circle with your left. Don't do what I hate being on stage for this sort of thing. Tamara's done this about 1,000 times, so you're so good at it. It never gets better, does it? Okay, good. And then one other warm-up. How many of you are actors or theater people? Just a few. Okay, well imagine, if you will, you are a famous actor and people grab you on the street and ask for your autograph. So now you're going to sign your autograph in the air with flourish. Doesn't even need to be legible. You can put a little heart over the eye if you want, whatever. It's your autograph. This is you. This is your star signature. Right. And whatever hand you were doing that with your opposite ankle, do ankle circles. And you know how that goes. Cheryl, yes, she just gives up with this. Okay, now simultaneously, the autograph and the ankle circles with the opposite. That's what I can do, strangely. Great, good, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So now you're all warmed up. We sometimes do more, but for now, for time's sake, I'll invite you to take your seats again. If I could have the actors come out on stage, please, out of the locker room, as we've fondly called it today. Oh, they're up there. That's right, they were all disappeared. Yeah, we could reset from the top of the play, but actually, let's do an introduction first, then we'll go to the reset. So, many of these actors are playing characters very far from their own personalities, their own way in the world. So I'd like you to meet them as people first. Michael said that he actually got, somebody asked him if he was a local right-wing guy. It's actually on the street after Thursday's show. But anyway, once again, I am Mark.
I'm Abba. I'm Hannah. Samantha. Kelly.
Helen.
Charlie. Karin. Michael. Johnny.
Hi, I'm Shale.
I'm Gary.
Thank you. If we could reset the show. So while the actors are setting up at the top of the show, actually take a moment with one or two people around you and discuss what may be some ideas for some of the things that you saw happening in the play. What could characters do differently, particularly characters that you relate to in your own life? Characters could do differently to change the situation. Just take a little moment and brainstorm with your neighbors, please. Two, three people. just take another moment or so with your neighbors. Did you figure it out, Cheryl? Did you figure it out? Good, yes. Okay, if we could finish our world-saving conversations, please. Okay, so can we come back together, please? So, by a show of hands, can I get, just want to ask a question. So how many of you even got glimmers of ideas in the conversation? So some things are starting to percolate, right? Great. Even if it hasn't, that's fine. The beauty of forum theater, which this structure is it's a community brainstorm. We are very much not here with a teaching agenda. The play is asking questions, and extremely difficult questions, right? And our job is to try to crack some of those questions. Forum theater is sometimes called a rehearsal for the future. So in an ideal world, for me, people will leave with some ideas of what you might actually do when you step out this door. So it's not just an exercise in an ideal world, that actually some new things happen here. Yes, it's a theatrical venue, but some of this stuff can definitely translate out in the world. What are some of the social problems? Just name them, they may be obvious, but what are some of the social problems that you saw depicted in this story? Just call it out, just briefly. Sorry?
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
Presentiment of conflict.
What was the first word?
Presentiment of conflict.
So, presentiment of conflict?
Yeah, presentiment. Like going into it expecting conflict, I guess.
Expecting conflict. Great, good. What else?
Corporatism.
Corporatism. What else?
Criticism.
Criticism. What else?
Passivity.
Passivity. What else? Judgment.
White supremacy.
Sorry?
White supremacy.
White supremacy. Yes, indeed. What else?
Fear. Intolerance.
Intolerance.
Fear.
Fear.
Rejection.
Rejection.
Hate.
Hate.
Misunderstanding or not understanding.
Not understanding? Not understanding. Good. Good. Xenophobia. Great. And much more. It's just sometimes good to name some of the things that we see. Then there's obviously different things happening in different specific moments. There's a few theatrical conventions that we'll check in on as we go along through the play, but now we're going to run the play a second time. We have 5 protagonists in this play, the way that we have structured it. The 5 characters that go through, they come out in the protest. They represent, in a variety of ways, different demographics, different levels of risk in the current and potentially future political climate. Some might say always, but everything's heightened now. Those are the characters. And I'm going to really ask people, in order for this to be the most useful for you, the most effective, play the character that most represents you, whose struggle most represents your struggle, right? We have a Muslim character, also somebody who's the target of religious persecution. I mean, it's also racism. There's a number of layers. If that is your struggle, that's a valid character to play. Okay? If you're a white male, white Christian male, probably Johnny's character is going to be the most useful character to play. I don't want to be too specific and directive about this, but really work your own struggles as much as possible. That's where you're going to get the most out of it, probably. We're going to ask people not to take over the other characters, the more antagonistic characters, unless you, in fact, are them, which is okay. Or if you feel that in your experience, in real life, from your real life experience, that character is actually more oppressive than what's represented on stage. My mentor, Gustav Boal, would say, come and play that character then and show us in your experience how hard it really is. Okay? But, are there any questions about that? I want to give one more hint in order to save us some time. Really think out of the box here. This forum has been set up extremely challenging. I can tell you right now, you go one-on-one against any of these characters, you will fail. They're instructed. Don't go one-on-one on them in that scene. You can go back in time. You can do a wide shot. What other characters or institutions might be in this picture that we're not explicitly seeing in the interaction between characters. Do wild stuff you would never even have thought of. You've got to think out of the box. These problems are hard. They would not be on stage if they were easy. Yeah, Richard.
Did you want to say anything about the White House?
Oh, that just happens to be in the background, 3,000 miles away. During a run-through, one of our characters looked up at the White House. I said, don't look at the White House, it's 3,000 miles away. But it's there. Good luck getting to it, but it's there. Okay. Are there any questions? Yeah.
I just want to say we were texted that the fire engines for people whose concentration is half outside, it's a false alarm, fire alarm going off in one of the buildings, but there is no fire, so be at ease.
I lived on 6th Street and Avenue B in New York City for quite a few years, and I don't hear fire engines anymore. I got totally desensitized. I didn't hear it. All right. No further questions? We have to practice. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, so if there's an issue that we feel like we want to address or just on fire, we just go there?
Yeah, I'm going to have you all practice saying stop, because I don't think this is going to be a timid crowd, but you know, it's just sometimes that first person up on stage. So I'd like everybody to practice saying stop. Ready? 1, 2, 3, stop! You can even say stop, I must intervene. And you come on stage, tell us the character that you want to play, tell us where you want to go from, and then we'll run the scene from there, and the actors will adjust to whatever you are trying. The only other ground rule, which may be obvious, but I have to say, don't hurt the actors. If you choose violence as your solution, you know, slow motion, or any physical touch that's involved, just remember you're dealing with real humans, and they also know that you are real humans. It actually can be a serious issue. I saw another hand. Last question.
You come up, you don't make a new character, you take the place of one character.
Right. There can be other characters that are not in the scene that end up on stage, but you can't just materialize them. You have to be one of these. You could go find them. You can go bring in other characters. I mean, anything goes, just don't hurt the actors, but you gotta at least start from within the characters that we see on stage. Again, you can go back in time. You can go wide shot. I'm giving you more information with this form than I normally do. Because otherwise, we're just gonna go head to head against Bob, and he's not gonna change. You're gonna go head to head against TSA, you're still going back to Iran. Right? Okay. So no further, if nobody else stopped, we'll just see the play over and over and over again. And we're trying to avoid that in real life. Thank you. So, actors ready?
Yeah.
It's hot back there. All right. So, Land of the Free, take 2.
a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome.
Send you're tired. You're poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuge from your teeming shores. Send them the homeless, the tempest-tossed to me. I'll lift my light above the golden door.
Be a lamp, or a lifeboat, or a ladder, and help someone so healed. Walk out of your house like a shepherd. Be a lamp, or a lifeboat, or a ladder.
Woo! All right, hey everybody, thanks for being here at Holler Fountain today for our anti-hate vigil. We're going to just open the floor and hear from people speak from their hearts.
Listen up, the snowflakes, listen up. What are you townies? I want to ask, how's a sanctuary city coming?
It's pretty good, we're getting some movement.
Yeah, let me tell you, there is no sanctuary. Those people are not welcome here. They take our jobs. They're criminals. They could be terrorists. I'm worried about my security, my family. I'm worried about my community, and I'm worried about my culture. Doggone it all. We conservatives, we now stand up for liberty. We've got a president that's got our back. We let those people in. I'll take care of things myself.
Stop. We have our first spectator. Please come. What's your name? What are you going to play?
I'll take one of the processors.
Which one feels closest to your heart?
I like you. Very nice class.
Okay. Do you want the love Trump say side?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so you can just come off the stage screen.
Cool.
Okay. So where do you want to go from there?
Let's do 3 hours later at a diner.
So he's gone?
He's still in here.
So he's still here, but would he be at that diner?
How about you stumble on in?
Okay. Why would he stumble on in? I just want to get clear, because you can't control that he's necessarily coming back. Did you invite him to the diner?
What I was envisioning is afterwards we were celebrating, we were talking about what change that we made. This man comes on through. How are we going to approach that if he is in the same place? Are we going to approach him with negativity?
Okay, so I don't know too much what you're going to do, but I want to create a real situation. So the vigil's done. This guy came, he did a hit and run left.
Yeah.
How do you get in the same space with him? That's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay, let's do, how about,
we have to be careful of magic.
It's, we're at Denny's. It's 4 hours later. It's 11:30. Everything else in town is closed. Hey, you're hungry. You gotta go to Denny's. You gotta go to Denny's. Gotta eat at Denny's.
So I just want to be, I may allow this, but you're basically hoping to run into this guy again at a working class fast food place.
Yes.
So a miracle happens, and he shows up with all of you at 11:30.
I believe in miracles, yeah.
All right, Eric, so do you need to talk to these guys about going to Denny's first? So you
I'll figure it out.
Show up at Denny's later, Mr. Schultz. Okay, so we are at a Denny's.
I am so hungry.
I got the table right over here. Come on, let's go over here. Let's get 4 meat over Manhattan's. That's for sure.
Can't wait to eat my bacon and sorry.
That's great. Yeah.
No way, man.
It's gonna be awesome.
No idea.
Hey,
That's that guy.
That guy was
we should
I don't know. That guy freaked me out earlier.
He threatened us.
So what how does dealing with that?
I know, but I just feel
Male aggression.
he disagrees with
Over
us.
here, please.
And I think maybe at least we can just have a discussion. If anything, just have a cup of coffee together. What's the worst that can happen?
All right. I mean, you're on. I'm not.
Well, there's more of us, but he threatened us. I think he has a gun.
It's okay, Jen. I think we should just. I'll talk to him. All right, I'll talk to him.
Okay, if you're gonna talk to him.
I got your back.
Keep that mic. Hey, what's happening? Just to hear your...
What's up, man? There.
How you doing?
Doing good. You were at the protest earlier, right?
I was.
Yeah. Oh, I like your "Make America Great Again" hat. It's beautiful. Nice shade of burgundy.
It's important, but
It is. You know what? We were just.
Sorry, you sound like you're a patriot.
You know what?
My man.
I'm trying to do the best I can. Yeah.
Join me though, because these people have no sense of reality.
That's
the
how
situation we are in this country.
Yeah, I would love to join you, but instead of me joining you, how about you join us for a cup of coffee and we just talk about this? See how we can make this country great again together.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
We need to do things about it, not talk about it. We've talked and talked. We've talked for 8 years under Obama.
Yeah.
It's time to do something.
What about Obama?
It's time to stand up for
Yeah.
our legal status.
I agree, man.
Our borders need to be fixed.
Things should be
So
done.
let's quit talking and do. What do you say? Join me in that?
Hey, if we want to do, we need to make a plan. Let's make a plan together. Power in numbers, right?
Okay.
America, unity,
There's a plan.
together.
Let's gather tomorrow morning back at the fountain and let's figure out what we can do to help Homeland Security.
Ooh,
Because
tomorrow
those
morning?
guys need help. Will you sign up for that?
You know what? I like to sleep in. I'm not gonna lie. But cup of coffee on me. Hey, I'll even get you. What do you want? What do you like? Like eggs? Like bacon? Like
No. I just
The
walked in
bags?
for a quick cup of coffee. I gotta get up early. I work the farm.
Yeah.
I got chores. I can't sleep in. I just worry and get up whenever I feel like
cup of
it.
coffee on us.
Sorry.
Come on, join us up.
I got a real job.
You got a real job. Oh, okay.
I
Cool.
get my fingers dirty. And so I would like to ask you, let's get together tomorrow and let's make something happen.
Cool. Well, how about this? Here's my card.
President. Let's say we will help your Homeland Security people. Your feds need help.
I love your passion, man.
Put me in, coach. Put me in. I don't smoke. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, cancer. Yeah. How about this? Here's my number. And this is what I would love.
What do you say, guys?
We're in
What do you say?
they're the patios.
Snowflakes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're insulting me.
Okay, are you done with what you were trying, or is there something
Ooh,
more?
I'm trying.
Okay, so this could take time.
It could.
Okay, so I think what I'm seeing, and correct me if I don't quite capture this, one, get him out of a protest context. Get him where the signs aren't being held. And ultimately you got him one-on-one, so he's not in a crowd of your people.
Totally. Well, I think more the intent was, I think a big part of fixing these issues, in order to come together, in order to become a stronger country, which we are both very much on the same page on, is dialogue and conversation. And he could bring up some amazing points, we could bring up some amazing
So
points.
you were finding ways to bond with him, you were finding commonalities first.
Or just have discussion.
Right.
Yes.
Good. So let me ask, did anything shift for you, Bob?
No. I mean, there's those that talk about it, feel about it, and then there's a get up in the morning people that make things happen, that take action.
It's a free cup of coffee.
So you're still skeptical, but you're open to conversation.
No, I'm open for doing it. Getting together to talk isn't my idea of making things happen. Making things happen is causing and affecting things so that they change. Okay, not.
I will applaud Bob though, because I feel in the last situation he came up, said his piece, bounced out. But in this moment, you just had a one-to-one talk with someone who disagrees with you for 2.5, 3 minutes. Something you didn't engage in before. So hey, we can't make big steps. Baby steps.
How many of you feel like that's a valid thing, to connect and find some commonalities and try to work some links, some connection? Okay. How many of you have actually, and I'm not going to out people what your political affiliation is, but how many of you have friends and or family or have engaged with strangers from the quote other side? Okay, a lot. How many of you had a good time doing that? A few. How many of you found it very challenging? Okay. How many have any hope whatsoever that it's worth your effort? Okay, quite a few hands, but not everyone. Okay, now I noticed one character left. Why?
Well, I was pretty worried about the potential threat of him carrying a gun earlier, and I'm just, less about. I mean, I'm partly worried if if my friend here riles him up, I don't know what to expect. Or if someone else in the restaurant overhears what's happening and gets riled up, I'm pregnant, I have a family, I don't want to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So I'm on the phone having a cup of coffee, just trying to watch what's happening, but get a little safety for myself.
How many of you relate to, there's a safety issue for you in that situation? Okay, so there's a lot of hands. I just want to remind folks also, this character is an immigrant and very possibly an undocumented immigrant, so this character that you're playing is exactly who he wants out. So that's, and you knew that, you chose that character.
Totally, yeah. And he got to talk to me even though I was brown for 2 minutes. That's, man. Open minds, man.
So, big little thing. Good, thank you. Thank you very much. Good. Let's take it to Bob's entrance, please. Okay, we're going to take it again to Bob's entrance. Try something. Yell stop and try something once again.
So thank you so much for coming. We're just gonna open the floor here from anyone who wants to speak.
Snowflakes. Whoa. Pitiful. You tell me, how is the sanctuary city coming along?
Pretty good.
It's not. But there is no sanctuary. Those people are not welcome. We're taking our jobs.
Scott, Tamara, please come and join us. I've known Tamara a long time, so I haven't seen you in a long time. Hi, I just haven't seen you in a long time. Good. Who would you like to play? Thanks, Tara. Which, yeah. Okay. Where would you like to go from?
We can change time.
You can go back in time, forward in time. You can do, within reason without waving a magic wand, but we see this is not an unusual situation.
Can we go back in time a day?
Yes, certainly.
Let's go back in time a day.
Okay, where are we?
We are planning this.
Planning the rally, okay? Planning the vigil, I'm sorry, yeah, okay?
That might be great, thank you.
You're doing my time.
Good.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, so I know that, Trump supporters have been showing up. Sometimes,
Yeah. So do we have like a plan for like how we want to deal with that?
Right.
I mean, I know in some places like people have been showing up with guns and.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was getting that serious.
Yeah, it's happened really fast.
Police to come and like be available to us.
I mean, I think that we need to figure out what we're going to do to keep ourselves safe, and maybe we need to bring some more support.
Like who?
Well, let's think about that. Like, who are some folks that might, might like just have our back? It seems like, and I don't know how many people we're expecting. And also make a plan for like keeping the folks safe that like are most vulnerable that the community's going to target first. Any thoughts?
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. Let's see. Those are great questions. One thought is like, what if we have some folks that are there, but like kind of in the background, that like if something comes up where there's an instance of violence, they could kind of come between like the folks that are most impacted. Does that sound like something we could try to do?
Like step into violence?
Step between. Have you not seen that before?
We call on such short notice.
Well, I notice a lot of folks are like paying attention up to the news. So, what about some of those folks that are reading the paper about like, not standing up?
Yeah.
Want to just try it?
Yeah.
Or are there other ideas?
I mean, if someone's willing to do that, I think it's worth trying.
Okay.
Boy, there's squishy bunch of activists.
But I bet I could find somebody in this room.
Okay, so you have gotten, however wishy-washy, some buy-in to get some muscle.
Some support.
Let's get some muscle in here right now.
Yeah. Can we do that?
Sorry, you asked me to know that quote.
It could be our own muscle.
We have some extra activists in the house, and what do you want them to do in case there's violence? You now.
So, yeah.
Great. Let's get a few more. And
Yeah, let's do it.
Then we're going to go to the protest. Okay? And that's in case of violence. Yes?
Yeah.
Great, good. Let's see what happens. So you're there specifically in case of things getting weird, right? And anticipating Trump supporters. Okay? Just take it from, all right, and we'll take it from, where's Bob? Okay, Bob? Do your thing. Okay, oh, and you could be a friend of Bob's too. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay, good. Right.
So we're just gonna open up the floor, and anyone who feels called to speak from their heart, the floor is open.
Hey, snowflakes, look. How's the Sanctuary City project coming along?
Woo!
See, there is no sanctuary.
Whoever wants to just speak from their heart, come on. Yeah, the floor is open, so, yeah, we're here to support each other, and
Bob, you having trouble over here?
I'm the only person that's welcome here in this community. I'm the only one in this community that's working for liberty. I'm the only one
All I know is I see a whole bunch of
Listen to me, people. This is an important situation, and I'm not some crazy crook. I'm an American, and I'm supported by my president. And what we have here is a problem in this community.
Hey, Bob, is there an issue here?
Get it?
Yeah. What's happening?
Nothing's happening, officers. As a matter of fact, why don't you take this and help me keep a little order here. Thank you. There is no sanctuary for illegal people here. They're criminals. They take our jobs.
Thank you.
And they are doing
I work with Bob. My name's David. And yeah, we farm together. Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's stop here so we see some of what's happening. Okay, so let me, Tamara, where are you? Okay, let's just try to unpack this. So we had muscle, Bob came in, and it started to get scarier. Why? I'm asking anyone that question. Why did that get scarier then? Because it actually started to get violent. We grabbed the mic or the megaphone or whatever it was to be heard. Yeah.
Because there was an opportunity for them to listen to Bob and control his behavior, but they say, yes, we'll listen to you, let's all talk. He's being forceful, but that's my hearing's a little off, but that's what I thought I heard.
Okay, Jax.
It escalated the situation as opposed to de-escalating it.
And anticipating violence in this case seemed to escalate. Yeah, Rosalette.
Yeah, and I just kept thinking he's going to pull a gun, and then pushing him isn't going to make any difference, because the second someone pulls a gun, if you're engaging in violence with someone who's ready to shoot people, where's that going to go?
Great. Yeah.
What I saw was that, I don't know that he knew that I was his friend behind it, but what I saw was any situation where there's one person feeling like they're being accosted or swallowed by multiple people, you get kind of animalistic no matter what side you're on. At least I could see that, so he's maybe feeling like he needs to become more aggressive to defend himself.
Yeah, Bob, why did you get violent there? Or on the edge of violence there? You were very physical.
Right? There's two things working. It's a typical tactic for the snowflakes and the liberals in this community to deny free speech for those that oppose them. Take away the microphone, shut down the meeting, and that's a tactic that I don't accept. I have the right for my speech, I have the same rights everybody else does, and to try to take those away from me with muscle isn't going to work in my community.
Y'all see what he's saying? You're taking away my freedom of speech. Okay. I once had a skinhead up on stage in a performance on racism in Eastern Washington. That's exactly what the skinhead said. That's exactly what the skinhead said. Now, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just saying that's a real, honest perspective from this character. Last comment, and then I want to go on. Yeah.
Well, what about the fact that these people are protected by law to a peaceful assembly, and this guy is, agitating the crowd? I mean, by law, they are entitled to a peaceful assembly, and we've got a rabble-rouser in the crowd. The police officer could actually, hastily intervene in some way to remind Bob that these people have a right to their peaceful assembly.
How many of you have been at a protest, a rally, a vigil, and there was dissenting opinions verbalized? Okay. For how many of you is that just part of, I mean, is that an illegal thing to have a differing opinion? Because that's what he initially did. That's all he did. Yeah.
But it is not right to be, it's right to give your opinion and so forth, but it's not right to be verbally assaulted.
So where it turns to verbally, so it's a fine line, right? Where it's tricky. When it gets physical, the cop showed up. Because the cops knew, I mean, certainly in this town, the cops know when there's a protest or vigil scheduled, right? Cops know. I've actually called the cops in advance of a performance to make sure that they know. Tamara, is there any last things that you want to say before coming up? Because, I mean, do people like the strategy of anticipating situations before holding the event?
Yeah.
Do people like that? Okay, yeah.
I think somehow the intervention changed from like a solidarity to muscle, and that changed that just changed what I think anyway, we didn't plan what would happen. We didn't plan what the security or whatever would do, because I think there's a lot of possibilities there.
So, would you be willing to just, like, you're saying that maybe role-playing, how do we handle, using foreign theater, even to role-play, how do we handle if this happens, if that happens? Okay, so you just didn't have the time to flesh that out, but to actually practice. Good, thank you. It's a great piece to add. Good. Let's take maybe one more in this scene. Does anybody want to come into this scene before we move on to the next? Want to have another idea that we haven't seen? Yes, please, come. LB, right? Good. Who would you like to play?
Well, I would like that scene where it was the day before.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not totally sure what I would say, and if anyone has an idea or wants to add on to what I'm saying, I would totally appreciate that.
Just so we're at that day before planning meeting. Yeah, that's.
What do you think of my sign? Pretty good.
Thanks everybody for getting together. I never use night. Thanks for getting together, and I could like go over tomorrow. We're gonna be out, and we've been there before, and we've been around other people that have come, and we've kind of gotten in our faces before, and everyone has their own opinion and freedom of speech. And where's your sign? You have a great sign. You want to tell us what that says?
Love Trump seats.
Yeah, it does. So maybe we should talk about what that means to everyone, you know, and prepare for people coming up and not liking what we're going to do, and how are we going to respond to that instead of reacting, and what our body language is going to look like, you know. If we can hold it together that way and try to show love in some way and things that we want to happen in this world, and somehow welcome these people, and maybe they'll leave feeling a little bit different, and that we don't have to step down to another way of thought because it's different than ours, or what we believe in.
Okay, so your proposal, is to encourage the group, in case there are people with opposing views that show up, to actually be loving, to just show up.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed with the protesters, or recall protesters, or when you were standing here and Bob came up, everyone's facial expression really changed dramatically. It was like, and like, what are you doing? What do you think? Oh, how dare you? Gross. And it just wasn't very accepting or appealing, you know. And if we really are standing up for these things and these signs we're holding, these beliefs, that we could like be stronger than that, you know.
How many of you are...
Because Bob didn't do that.
How many of your characters, I'm talking to characters now, are willing to try that?
I'm pretty scared to be there. I mean, being there is kind of scary for me, so if anybody shows up, I just feel like locked down to go.
And that's okay to feel locked down too, but maybe not, you know,
kind of grunt, moan, or talk under your breath, or make side comments, just kind of hold that, and we can kind of support you in that too, but I don't think it's gonna help if we're talking back to the people who oppose us.
I think sometimes it's easy for us to think of that way, especially if you don't feel like we are the target of the hate that the person is showing. For someone like me, the gay brown person and the Muslim person here, knowing that the target of his hate speech or his speech was towards me, again going back, sorry, the reaction was more of scared.
So we have really, all three of you have expressed fear, and it's at a survival level. It's important to note that. They're not trained to do that. They're speaking authentically as the characters, as they understand it. How many know this to be true? Right? We've already seen there's been a lot of mixed expression. So you may not get that from all those characters because they're at very high risk.
Right. So maybe that's something that we need to work on more in our meetings and preparation, and as how our reaction comes across to opposing views, and how to work on feeling more secure and not so fearful.
I'm going to propose that play the truth of your character after this counsel. It doesn't mean you have to do it the way that she's saying it, but let's bring Bob in and see what happens. Okay? Good. Keep the mic, because you're going to be that love that you're talking about.
Okay, I'm going to try.
Okay, ready?
We'll be the love. Yeah.
From the entrance,
All about the love.
Bob. Yeah. Okay. Be the love.
All right, here we are.
Hey, hi, how are you doing today? Welcome. Hi. I like your hat.
Let's go to work. What do you say?
Yeah, we're working on stuff.
What do you say? First of all, there is no sanctuary. Those people don't look.
Well.
So we need to figure out a way to gently.
I like that gently. That's good.
Because they don't belong here. They're taking our jobs.
Well, what kind of work do you do, Bob?
I farm.
Yeah.
Work with my hands.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
my uncle's a tractor mechanic.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got some work to do together. Because the illegals that are here are illegal.
Well, we try not to talk about illegals. Maybe we can.
Because they're taking my jobs and your jobs.
Here you are. It's all about the love. It's all about the love.
It is. And everybody's got different views and.
Tell that to the people that are damaged.
Oh, Bob, can I give you a hug? Can I give you a hug?
No. Well, Bob, thanks for stopping.
Okay, so let's just stop. First of all, I saw some white guy bonding going on here. You guys bonded. You turned your back to this character who initiated the contact. Interesting. Real?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. How did that feel? Yeah, you were initiating the kindness and the love, and he immediately started bonding with the dude, put his back to you.
That's it. I don't know. I mean, I could really dissect that and get into it, but
Yeah.
there's not a lot of time for that.
Anything shifting?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because the fact that the protesters were trying the best they could to come from a place of love and acceptance, then that helped shift the energy, and it helped Bob not to be expressive.
So the energy's shifting, yes? Bob, no?
Only to the extent that I can ally that with my critics.
Then you can what?
Otherwise, it's pitiful.
So you still don't have a lot of respect for the snowflakes. Do you all know what the term snowflake refers to currently? How many of you know what that word? It has a long history, but in the last year or so, it is a slur or put down from the conservatives to the liberals, the oversensitive, pampered. They melt in the heat. Snowflakes melt in the heat. It is an explicit put down from the right to the left. Yeah.
It's also used to
negate diversity, I guess, like calling people special snowflakes, like people are just unique, and it's like,
yeah, good. Okay, that'll be great. So maybe some people are seeing that adjusting the tone, but just, yes, please.
I wasn't also feeling that we were gonna change Bob's point of view. It wasn't really like my intention either, but to try to like neutralize the situation in some way so that it didn't accelerate and that it didn't become so reactionary, and that maybe in some way we could like welcome him with smiles on our faces instead of frowns, or like, ugh, and like hear what he has to say, but then it goes on. Like it's something like we're anticipating, not to be drawn into it or react to it. And I didn't really mean for it to be real, give me a hug and all that.
That's where that guy took it. He's taken many courses in these things.
I'm all about the love, except where it starts to feel risky to me, because I would just walk away. So I appreciated that tactic. I thought, yeah, I could be the love. That's exactly why I'm out here, because that's what I want to do. But as soon as that guy got dangerous, I'm just going to leave, because I don't want to be around physical violence, and I have that choice.
I need my white brothers and sisters to do the work with each other. So if I am calling on and if I'm seeing that happening, I'm glad to see, got my friend up here stepping in to support my other friend, and they can work it out. I'm with, you know, my immigrant friend and my gay friend, and I'm a Muslim woman, and you know, my idea is that we're gonna just kind of let them have their thing, and the rally's gonna continue over there about 50 feet away, you know, where they can have their conversation and do whatever. Maybe he escalates, maybe he doesn't because he feels heard, but I don't want to stand around, like, this is not what I came for. You know, I came to be in solidarity with my brothers and sisters, and this guy's coming, he's got something to say, but I'm feeling a little bit like, okay, you guys do your work. We're gonna go over here and do the rest of what we came to do
today. The truly vulnerable folks are gonna just keep on task. You're not gonna waste
as my character, I'm kind of like checking in with who's here and like, okay, let's do our thing and like move over there and let them do their thing. So that's what's going on for me.
Good. Before we move to the next scene, because there's a lot of other challenges waiting for us. We haven't talked much about our Statue of Liberty, who is very much a living, breathing character in this play, Gary. And I know your arm's getting tired now.
Yeah, but the weight of like all the disappointments kind of brings the lamp down.
Right. Anything that you've seen so far? We've seen a handful of tactics. Anything helping you hold that lamp up?
Well, all the symbolism I stand for is about welcoming our people.
Here. Thank you.
Everything I stand for, though, all the symbolism is about welcoming people here. I mean, there's no one here who is not an immigrant or from an immigrant. I mean, there's very few. And here we are, you know, arguing, and I come from France.
This is the statue time.
I mean, really. I came in pieces, but I came from France. That's a gift to the American people about welcoming people in. And who will take? And all our dreams are from that. And as far as it's a country of laws, that's what keeps it all going. Bob hasn't broken any laws. Even if he's carrying a gun, it is an open carry state. It is a standing ground state. He's a patriot who wants to uphold the laws of immigration. I want people in, but how do we combat that? That's the thing. What do we do? That's the process.
Do you want to come up?
No, that was just a comment. No, there was something that was said that was glossed over a little bit. The character of Johnny, right? Basically said he has the choice, he can walk away. So I thought that was very important for us to really think about ourselves. How many people have a choice to walk away and how many people do not have that choice? And so it's kind of like I can walk away becomes plan B. like your plan A is to go to the rally, but in the back of your head, I can always walk away. You can choose to investigate the issues or choose not to. So I think that's really something important for us to investigate for ourselves. If we have that plan B, I can always walk away and forget that other folks can't.
And Cheryl, are you speaking about the privilege to walk away when you're not really at risk?
Yes, I'm talking about the privilege to walk away. The privilege to walk away when you're at risk, when you're suddenly feeling the fire that others have felt all along, and it's like, okay, I can walk away, I'm down with the cause, but I'll do it from over here. And I'm saying just note that, just not to put anyone down for that, because we're human as well, we don't want to get hurt, but really examine in our mind, what are we willing to do? What we're willing to do to step out of complacency to actually improve things for everyone.
Thank you. Good. Let's go to the shitstorm. That's the next scene. Bob has just exited. We could work that scene all evening, but we're going to go to the next section, the deluge of executive orders. So again, watching the Statue of Liberty serves as a barometer to what's happening on the stage.
Department of Homeland Security, separating children from parents of foreigners.
Will the White House to repeal and replace Obamacare?
President tweets that global warming is an expensive hoax.
Conservative Neil Gorsuch is choice to the Supreme Court Justice.
Dakota Access Pipeline goes through. Native sovereignty threatened.
Religious liberty bill allows businesses to discriminate against LGBT customers.
Companies ready to build U.S.-Mexico border wall.
Jewish settlements throughout the U.S.
Stop. Please come. Okay, Joyce, who are you coming in for?
So I have to say, I've never done this in my life. Stood up, I just could not bear.
Great, and that's why we're here. And I also want to say this work was designed for non-theater people. In fact, theater people are sometimes the hardest to work with this stuff. And you don't have to solve the problem, right?
It's in the planning session.
Okay, so so the news is, is the news on? Because this is the internet, this is the TV, this is what, yes.
The news is rich, but
Okay.
we have not yet come to the event, but we're in
Okay, so this is, okay, so the news is still coming. So who are you playing? Well, you would have to turn it off if you want to get rid of it.
I want everybody, every time.
So just, which character are you playing, Joyce? No? Yeah, just try it and we'll see
Well,
where
I
it
wanted
goes.
to talk with the truth beforehand, so we do have a plan.
Well, this is after the rally. This is after the rally. This is the news going.
Oh, this is the news after the rally.
Yeah.
So.
Bob is gone. You can plan anything you want at this point. You've gathered after the rally.
But before we're back in our lives with the onslaught of the news.
Well, the news is still coming.
Yeah, it's still coming. We're after the rally.
Today's Gorsuch, by the way.
Okay. So, hey guys,
we're travel ban on 6 Muslim countries.
Not yet. Turn the news off?
Yeah.
Turn the news off.
Okay, news is off. Okay, you can have a seat. It's a simple thing, but why don't you do something?
We've done the rally. It went really well. Yeah, we had some hard spots with, a couple of protesters and the usual things. But I think we had a strong show of force, and we really came out. So that part, we rocked it. Yeah. So the thing is, what are we going to do now? So I think what I'm like to suggest is we're all very aware of the threats that we're under right now, all the different parts of this agenda that are coming our way. Can each of us agree to own something? Just name the thing that kills you, that really brings you forth. And when an opportunity presents, stand up. Just stand up. We don't have to have a plan. We don't have our people together yet behind us. But
just own whatever the thing is that calls you not to shrink, but to grow, to stand. What do you think? What do you think? Does that seem like a reasonable way to, like, next step?
Like, talk about our issues, or?
Talk about our issues. I'm thinking more name the thing that really moves you and start thinking about how you can motivate support around you and start being in action about it.
I mean, I care about equity issues a lot.
Say more about equity issues.
Well, I don't know if you've looked at who's in our prisons. Who's in our prisons recently, but it doesn't feel equitable at all to the population we have in the country. So that's why I'm out marching.
Love it. Okay.
Great. What about you?
I'm really scared for myself and my family. I'm not the only immigrant here, and I'm not sure how I can protect myself and them. I mean, if I go, my family is left without them, and then my uncles, my dad, my mom, I'm not sure if we can do much.
I got it. So are there people around you who may not be feeling as vulnerable as immigrants as you, but who would support you? I mean, are there friends you have in the world who, you know, you could start to talk to about your own concerns and see who's got your back?
Well, I do know I've got Jim here, but I mean,
It's a start.
Okay, so do you want to go on, or is that's the gist of it? You're trying to really personalize it for what is your struggle and what do you need? Is that?
I think so.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. Okay, to really actually, so let me try this, because I know you were winging it, but to really build relationship and find out where people's hearts, their issues, their struggles, and build relationship and find out what they need. I mean, you didn't get to the other characters, but I see this starting to move across here.
Right. Find, like,
Who is with you? Who's in the room? Who's in your life? Who has your back? Who's tracking the things? And choose one for now. I mean, it's too much. It was to see the visceral reaction, to feel it myself in the chair when the onslaught of the news was making us cower and shrink and fold. It was breaking my heart. And I know that that's been, you know, really common. It's certainly been my response to it all. And it ends here. We can do something different than just take those hits the way we were.
How does that feel, folks? Thank you, Joyce. How does that feel to folks? To take the time to build the relationships, to hear the personal stories. How many of you feel like that's a good and useful piece of, I mean, there's no one tactic here, it's a whole web of tactics. Any of the characters want to say anything about that? How that felt? Okay. This is the least vulnerable character on stage.
I might be willing to stick my neck out a little bit more now, hearing a little bit about the risk that somebody that named me as an ally was under.
Yeah, you just got basically called in as an ally. So now you've got to step up higher. How many of you relate to that? Okay, allyship's a whole big piece of this play, on how to do that well. Great. Any of the other characters want to say anything or no? Okay, good. Let's do the storm just a little bit longer and see if anybody wants to work with this moment. How many of you, by show of hands, as they're getting their newspaper balls, relate to the overwhelm, the immobilization by the huge array of executive orders and tweets and, you know, what do you do about that? Action.
Department of Homeland Security separating children from parents at border.
Oh, White House to repeal and replace Obamacare.
President tweets that global warming is an expensive hoax.
Stop the
Thanks, Nikki, please come. Let's give Nikki a round of applause.
I'm actually going to be a couple of days after the what do you call that thing?
The vigil, several days later. And who are you playing? Okay. I'm going to give you this. Where are you? So it's a couple days later.
And we have reconvened to sort of debrief the protest. Very similar. We're debriefing.
Building on the wisdom of each other. That's part of what's going on.
Yeah. All right. So, and they can continue because I'm going to turn them off too.
Okay, so you can throw a couple of paper balls and then you'll be switched off. Let's assume that they're switched off.
Yes, we're switching off.
Off.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe I'm going to have you open up just so.
Right. I'm really glad that we could get back together. Man, God, how many of you have heard, been like just overwhelmed by the onslaught? I'm so glad that we just sort of be here and just frickin' turn it off. But, I was hoping that we maybe could just take a little bit of time, just kind of share how we're feeling right now and what's going on for us. And then when I called the meeting, I was hoping that each of us could bring something that they know that, has been actually good that's been happening, particularly in our movement. So where have we seen some successes? So I just kind of start off and say, man, I've definitely been feeling the weight, but I've been keeping up on what's going on at Standing Rock, and there was some really devastating news, but there's some really hopeful news. Like they just had this amazing march in DC, and they also were able to go to the Native American Museum and actually speak up, and just some amazing things. And there's since Standing Rock has shut down, they have sort of spread across the country, and they're actually meeting, and there's other camps that are starting. So even though the news around that has been so difficult to hear, there's some amazing things happening. So it's really cool, and I'm feeling really hopeful. I'm feeling really motivated, and So anything you guys been hearing about?
I just want to say I really I think it's a good idea to include hope to keep our spirits buoyed, but I've got to get home soon, and there's just so much going on, and I'd really love to focus on like what action we're going to take, and there's a lot that's coming down the pike for me and my family and my community. So, I support this. I'm wondering if that could happen at another time. I don't know how other people are feeling. I don't have room right now to sit and talk about the hope. There's a little bit more that I'm needing right now.
You're feeling the urgency.
Well, yeah, I am. Yeah.
Got it.
Survival here and now for some of these characters. Yeah. Good. But to focus on the positive, or to keep some fuel going so the overwhelm doesn't sit in. Yes?
Yeah, you gotta report on and track the good that's happening.
Right. How many of you think that's an important piece of the puzzle? Don't just dwell on all the horrors coming, but you got to hold on to. I just want to give Cheryl, did you want to add something to that? Or?
Yeah, I was just going to add, one of the reasons I think that that's a really good thing to do is because not only are you looking at what's hopeful, but also why is that working? Why is it making a difference? So that can be empowering.
What is it about that? So it's not.
What is about that? Yes.
It's not just a sweet love thought, but it's also a tactical.
Yeah. What can we use? What can we learn from that?
Great. Good. Thank you. Great. Okay. Nikki, thank you so much. We have time for one more in the Shitstorms team. Anybody want to try? Let's give Nikki a round of applause. Anybody else want to work within this scene? Okay, thank you. Please come. Round of applause again. That's okay. You're going to come in there for that same character, I'm assuming. I don't want to make assumptions, but okay, here's this. Where do you want to go from?
So I want to go from
Is the news like
the planning stage.
Okay, so the news is off again?
Planning for the rally.
Okay, so this is before the rally or preparation for another rally?
Preparation for the rally.
Before we've even met this guy?
Yeah.
So we're going back to the top of the play again?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Go for that. Okay.
So, how you all doing?
Yeah.
So, I had a thought that, I don't know whether or not it would work, but it might help us to prepare for, this rally. And it might help to, I don't know how much good it would do, but my idea was to actually come up with my own sign that says, love is the answer. And because that's also important. All these signs are important. But ultimately, what is really going to shift things in this world is the love, is trying, which is a hard thing to do, but to try to practice it. And so I want to make a sign that says, love is the answer. And if we have anybody that comes and they're aggressive, then my thoughts is that I'll stand up in the front with my sign and I'll be like, just point to it. This is what I have to say. And then I'll and maybe we can just come out and say that, hey, listen, man, we hear what you have to say, or whoever it is, but we hear what you're saying, but we care just as much. We just have different understandings. We care just as much as you care. We care just as much as you care about this country. It's one thing we have in common. But we're not going to discuss this with you unless we can do it in a peaceful manner. Okay. And then he can say whatever he wants.
So let me ask. So that sounds like a variation on what LB was doing.
Yeah.
Just adding a sign.
Yeah.
Right. So is anything different for any of you here than that? Okay. So it's just really just making a commitment to love.
Yeah, and then maybe actually, my thoughts is, it's that, yes, that's true, but my thoughts is like actually having a sign that says that is going to make a powerful statement. And if somebody comes up at the forefront while somebody's being aggressive with a sign that says love is the answer, then maybe that will, I don't know, maybe that will diffuse things a little bit.
And just to save time, Michael, Bob, and we're not going to run it because we have to go to the last scene. Will that sign shift things for you?
No, because it doesn't lead to the behavior that's supposed to indicate what I want for this country.
This character keeps telling us there's some need that I have, that my friends and I have, that's not being met. Right. And you need to see those needs met somehow.
That's the reason that we won the election. Our needs weren't being met, and we stood up, and we expect them now to join.
Okay. So we keep getting this information. Somehow this guy's not going to shift until his needs are met. That doesn't mean the way things are going now are the only way those needs will be met.
That's true.
Right.
And it doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you. Good. Go to the last scene. Okay, we're just for time. I think we're going to skip the voices in the head, even though that would be a very rich and useful form. I want to go to the not too distant future in what might be called a fascist state. Some of these things are already happening now, but take it even further. Did you want to come up on stage?
I just wanted to interject a comment.
Okay.
Is that I feel really impacted by watching the subtle changes in the Statue of Liberty and how much that emotion shifts. Well, you're just being quiet and stationary, sort of, but when you're engaged in what's happening with the people, and then you get this little peripheral glimpse of the emotional shift that the statue is going through. It's like, wow, that's really large, and it's really it's expansive. It's beyond the individual. It's the consciousness of the person, the community, the country, the world, and so it's really appreciate that aspect.
Yeah, and I'm periodically checking with you, but if at any point something feels important, grab them up, okay? So, sorry? Okay, so we're going to go to the final scene, starting with Ice from Homeland Security. Y'all stop, do something. And also, the other characters, imagine them witnessing this. Imagine them witnessing this. There are 4 separate incidents at 4 separate places, but imagine there are witnesses in each case. Action.
Hey! You!
What?
You don't have a green card. You're not welcome. You don't have an Iranian passport. You have an Iranian passport. You are not welcome here.
Hey! You! We don't serve gays here. You're not welcome here.
Hey, you! Are you not aware that abortions are illegal in this country? You are not welcome here.
Hello? Is there anybody out there? Hello?
Take it to the top of that scene again. Out of the box. Out of the box. What do we do? This is already happening, some of this stuff. How many like this picture? Silly question, right? What do we do? There's the clues already in the initial work that we did. Did you want to come up?
I don't know, that's greedy. But like, I guess I have
Be greedy! Eric, I love green people. If this was the second time up, I would probably not. Who are you playing? Same character?
I'm gonna be...
Play as close to that feels right for you.
I'm gonna be America.
You want to be, well, yeah.
All right,
Statue of Liberty doesn't do anything, it just reports how true to the spirit of that message.
I'm gonna be homie over here. What's your name? I'm gonna be Charlie.
This is a gay
the LGBT community? Alright, cool.
Okay,
But anyway.
Where do you want to go from? From that scene or from prior?
Well, who's actually, I'm sorry, go back in there, Charlie. Who's the last one? Oh wait, you're not taking, right? I'm gonna be James.
Okay.
James, yeah.
So you're playing on what guy?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. It's good to do once in a while. I'm going to give you this. So there are 1, 2, so from the start of the film?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Take them away, TSA.
Hey! You! You don't have a green card. You're not welcome. You! You have an Iranian passport. You are not welcome here.
I got it.
Hey! You! We don't serve gays. You're not welcome here.
Hey, you! Are you not aware that abortions are illegal here? You are not welcome here.
And I feel like, is there a question? Yeah, cool. Yeah, I feel like, especially now, I think the big issue is everyone needs to feel of value in however way they justify it. I think Bob felt of value because he felt like he could identify with a group of people that had a voice, and that gave him value. I think if you don't feel like you're of value, you're bored and you don't care. And I think a big issue with the last election is a lot of young people didn't care because they feel like it didn't affect them. I feel when I see something like this on YouTube, on Twitter, on Snapchat, on Instagram, it's very impactful for me. And as someone in their mid-20s, I don't think we feel a lot. But seeing that makes me feel and makes me empowered. And I feel like...
Samuel, why does seeing representations of these actions against people, right, against people, why does that inspire you?
I feel seeing a video like that actually makes me feel and hopefully inspires me to make a difference. If these things aren't, like if you just look at all the videotapes of all the unfortunate situations of people of color getting shot by police, if you see a news article, all right, cool, yeah, that sucks. If you see a video, that goes viral in an hour. If we make these things seen, if we put them out in the public, if that's one tweet of a picture, if that's one YouTube video, even though it's horrible, these things are happening, at least if any good comes out of it, it will inspire more people to want to make those changes.
So
it's a slow burn. It's not
You're doing
gonna.
this to inspire a revolution, basically.
I'm doing this so people know about it. Yeah, I'll say inspire revolution. That sounds better. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, because you're obviously doing it because you don't agree with what you're seeing.
Well, I'm doing it because if it hurts me and if it impacts me, hopefully that documentation will hurt and impact others, and that'll inspire action.
And you are doing it as the least vulnerable character, the one that's not at risk of being disappeared.
Yes, and probably the one with the biggest social network.
Great, thank you. Good. So tactic number one, take it from the top. Take it from the top of that. Anything? Okay. Liberty's waking up a little bit with that one. Yeah, from the top of the scene. Yeah. Again, thinking out of the box. What else?
Hey, you. Yeah, you don't have a green card. You're not welcome here.
You don't have an Iranian passport.
Yes, I do.
You do. No, you know you're welcome.
Stop, we have to stop. Thank you. Is that Liz? Okay. Okay, so pick the character that's closest to you. Okay, so again. Where do you want to go from, Liz? Okay, top of the scene. So Ice is.
I've never done this before.
You are not the first. It's why we're here. We're trying to be a battery to inspire action here. It's easier to practice it, as someone suggested, Tamara suggested. We practice this stuff before we got to do it out there, right? Okay. Yeah. Where do you want to go from the top?
From the very beginning.
Okay.
Hey, you. Hey,
Wait,
excuse me, ma'am. No, I'm making an arrest. If you are resisting an arrest, then you are also under arrest. Are you resisting arrest?
I'd like to call.
You don't have a green card. You are under arrest.
No, I'm not under arrest.
No, excuse me, sir. You're under arrest. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to. All right, come this way, ma'am. Come on.
Okay.
I want to call my lawyer right now.
All right, fine. We're gonna take you under arrest. You can call him then.
Not leaving.
All right. Please put your hands on your back. Yep. Ladies, back up. Yes, thank you.
Excuse me.
ma'am.
Excuse me. You're under arrest. We go. You resist
All right, ma'am. We don't have far to go.
Yep. This way.
Hey, where are you taking her? Hey, I saw she was just trying to
Are you
help that
calling?
man.
What are you doing?
Hey, I know my
She's
rights.
resisting arrest. She is resisting arrest.
I'm asking what's going on.
Mind your own business.
Okay.
You have to
Work together. Of course I'm here. Excuse me, I know my rights. I know my rights.
Are you resisting arrest?
I'm not resisting arrest.
Okay, so we see where this is headed. All right.
Why you're arresting? Why are you here?
Okay. What is it? Okay, cut. See. You're under camera. And we're moving from there. Okay, yeah, you get it back, you get a little bit intoxicated there, Kelly. Okay, all right. So, you actually step in and intervened.
Right.
And tried to stop ICE from removing what they were trusting to be an undocumented immigrant, yes?
Right.
How'd that go for you?
I'm not sure how the actual circumstance, I mean, in the play here, it went in a particular way because the actors chose to respond in a particular way. So, in the actual circumstances, I'm not exactly sure how it would go, but I think that, I mean, I don't know, because I've never been in a situation with ICE and I'm coming together.
So let me ask, now in this case it's ICE, but let me ask, how many of you have ever been in a situation, it could be a protest, where a law enforcement officer or officers, in this case it's ICE, but it could be police, arrested people? And how many of you either yourself or witnessed others try to intervene with those arrests? What happened? Yeah.
More people got arrested.
Okay. So the people with experience in this says you're going to jail. And I'm going to take a stab. Depending on the color of your skin, it might inform the level of violence involved. Yeah.
I was also going to say that depending on, like, in this scenario, what you're saying, in police dealing, like, you got physically in the way, your character, you'd be hauled off. How police might deal with two white women, especially one that's like, what's going on? That, Abba's character, a cop may or may not do that. In lots of cases, they won't to maybe a white woman who's just like, what's going on? But if you get your body in the way, you're breaking the law. So it does go both ways. They will treat you differently in those scenarios if you're intervening or even asking questions, but it can go both ways.
Yes, I'm seeing some nods. I mean, obviously, these characters are people too. Police are people too. I've actually done this work with Seattle Police, some similar work, and yes, my brother's a cop, but there is definitely something that the role tends to require of you, and what happens when you put that badge on, Kelly, yes?
Yeah, just out of clarity, I was coming in, flipping out like TSA coming in as a cop.
Yeah.
So coming in as a cop, I don't really care what's going on. I'm coming in to back up my fellow officer. I might have the information, I might not, but that wasn't my concern. I just flip on. Like, those are my people, these are my people. Which is the scary part for me.
So, now that doesn't mean don't intervene, but this is the repercussion probably, especially in a fascist state. Thank you. Good. We have time for one more tactic in this scene. We'll come please come. Thank you. Good. I'm asking you to play the character that's most like you.
I'm going to take Charlie.
Okay, so you're a brown gay?
I guess I'm not brown, but I don't know. Like, I assume Chick-fil-A is kicking him out because he's gay, right?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, great, good. I mean, I didn't do that to out you, I just want to make sure that you're connecting. Good, so where do you want to go from?
I want to be kicked out of the Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so we'll take it from the Chick-fil-A scene, so the others are gone. And what's your name again? Jordan, okay, good. I'm going to give you that. You're about to why you want to go to Chick-fil-A is another question, but here we are. Okay, apparently it's this. Okay.
Hey, you! We don't serve gays here. You're not welcome here.
Your company's gonna go bankrupt in 6 months.
Sorry.
Digging your own grave.
Sorry, it's company
Your
policy,
hate
sir.
makes me
You're
more
gonna have to
powerful.
leave.
It makes
You're
you
gonna
more
have to leave,
comfortable.
sir. It's company policy. We just don't serve gays.
Excuse me, I'm the manager. We will get some extra.
Yeah, follow me,
help
follow
here.
me.
Please,
Just keep pushing me out.
Be polite.
Chick-fil-A!
Polite.
Boycott Chick-fil-A! Boycott Chick-fil-A! Boycott Chick-fil-A! Homophobic! Boycott Chick-fil-A! Boycott Chick-fil-A!
Okay, interesting. Okay, and so Jordan, you went, but you and with a very jovial spirit said this is going to come back to bite you, basically.
Yeah.
And there was some protest. So what happens then?
Boycott.
How many of you have boycotted a business or been part of, whoa, look at that, we got to activate a crowd. How does that work? I'm not hearing a lot of enthusiasm.
If you did collectively.
Sorry?
And when there was a boycott of Netflix,
I'm pretty old, and when there was a boycott of Nestle, because Nestle's was getting third world women to use their formula, it really made a difference. They don't do that anymore. You know, they let women breastfeed because they lost business. So it works. You know, you have to get the word out about a boycott and reach people at their hearts. And I think it's easy. Boycott is a pretty easy thing to do, and it's something that makes people feel like they've done something or they're doing something.
So even though in this world that we have and may have, where there's the freedom of religion act, where a business can choose to serve who they want, you can still protest and boycott the business. And you know, the more it becomes a fascist state, maybe that adds to some other complications. But people like that tactic. Okay, good. Yeah, there's something to say, Aaron?
Yeah, actually, so back home, we have a couple of Chick-fil-A's, and all they're delicious, but even, but we were part of a small movement where if you were part of the LGBT community, we basically had people go in shifts, get Chick-fil-A for an hour, and you would just be a little extra PDA in that Chick-fil-A. And it became, the one in West Hollywood actually became a gay hangout. So it was one of those things where you could basically strong-arm, or we strong-armed our way into literally like, this community, even though you hate us, we are going to support and hang out here as much as possible. We didn't have signs, we didn't protest aggressively, but we basically forced that to be the demographic they had to serve. So it was either, you know, you lose all of your business or you allow us to chill. And also everyone working there was, you know, you're working your job. You're like, this isn't worth, you know, keeping these people out and causing a scene. We're just gonna let it happen. And they just let it happen until it became like the spot.
Thank you. So basically, and I'm not going to take the time to see that tactic, you took it over, you went under the radar. So the tactic is to go under the radar and get the community that they don't want to serve to essentially become an important client base.
Yeah.
It becomes a hangout.
Yeah.
Very, very creative. And it did something.
It did. It's still good.
So rather than avoid it, you took it over.
Yeah.
Great. So lots of ideas. We could go all evening with this, but there's other things that need to happen. Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you. Let's get the entire cast on stage, please. We're going to do a So we're going to do one closing structure. It's very short. Now I know that we're just scratching at these very big and difficult issues, but we've been here nearly 2 hours, about an hour and 45, exploring a variety of different possible alternatives in some very challenging scenarios. What, if anything, can you take from our time together this afternoon? Just in one or two words or short phrase, call it out. What can you take with you into your life?
Direct action works.
Direct action works. What else?
Solidarity.
Solidarity.
Allyship.
Allyship.
Be the change you wish to see.
Be the change you wish to see. Sorry? Don't give up. Organize.
Show up.
Show up. Sorry? Cell phones. Self-ownership. I'm sorry, you hear what you want to hear. Sorry. What else?
Find your support.
Find your support. Find your support. Yeah.
Let's recognize that it's about people, not about movements per se. Because if you have this big movement thing, you can get these people involved. So get involved with people.
Remember, get involved with people, real humans. Yeah, good. There was something here? Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do with the Bob characters. Confront your own prejudice.
Confront your own prejudice. Good. Anything else that you can take that hasn't been said?
Practice all kinds of strategies.
Practice all kinds of strategies. Good.
Focus on what's working.
Sorry?
Focus on what's working.
Focus on what's working. Good. So the cast is going to do a playback theater, fluid sculpture of our collective experience together tonight. Please watch.
I'm gonna pierce this bubble. I'm gonna pierce this bubble.
It takes all of us together. It takes all of us.
Let's see some action.
Together.
Let's see some action. Yeah.
All right.
Let's see some
I'm
action.
making a plan. All of us. All right. I'm making a plan.
Tell me your story.
All right. I'm making a plan.
Let's see some action.
Confront your
I'm coming out.
Keep your eyes on your heart. Confront.
Let's see some action.
Keep your eyes on your heart.
Freeze. This is a much bigger cast than normal. I want to just tap each one so we can hear each voice, starting here.
Confront my own prejudice. All right, I'm making a plan.
Let's see some action.
I think.
It takes all of us together.
I'm gonna pierce that bubble.
Over here! Over here!
Tell me your story.
Keep your eyes and your heart open.
Help me help you.
I'm coming out. I'm gonna show up.
Thank you, actors. Thank you, audience. Thank you so much, everyone, for your action on stage. Hopefully that'll translate to something out there. And to quote Mark Bamuthi Joseph, who's an incredible spoken word artist and activist from the Bay Area, he says, "My art is a battery. It is not a bridge." Now, that's not necessarily the case for all of us or at every moment, because we do bridge work too, but hopefully this evening has been a battery to inspire, maybe concretely or maybe in your heart and spirit, to go and do what needs to be done so we can create the world that we want to live in. So it's a big task. Thank you so much. And a couple of announcements. Yeah, a couple of quick announcements. At the mailing list out there, print legibly. If you want stuff from us, it's not a ton. Jaleh, help me, is there anything important? Oh, there's actually, Eileen, can you just wave your hand, please? Eileen is our company manager. I want to tell you about one project that we're going to be doing in the late summer, early fall. It is a forum theater project, legislative theater project, which will take it one step further, and we'll work with local legislators to inform public policy, and it'll be an LGBTQ plus youth project. The actors will all be from that population, and they will create a play about the struggles that they are grappling with, and invite the audience to grapple with them, and propose new laws, which we're going to push school board and teachers and principals and city councilors and county commissioners to take the recommendations very seriously. So that's coming up in the fall. If you want to support that project in any way, please speak to Eileen. She'll be happy to take your information. On that note, I know the Goddard dinner needs to happen pretty quickly. Jupang, is there anything that you want to announce so people get to where they need to go efficiently?
Just that dinner is served at 6 o'clock and it's only served for half an hour, so be sure to get in the door before 6:30.
Yeah, so people can, that's for the Goddard group and our group here.
Yep.
Great. Anything else before we rock on out?
It's in the servery. Does everybody know what the servery is?
Which is not the Commons?
It's the Commons, room D.
Gotcha. Thank you, everyone. You were wonderful. Thank you so much.